stream right before this, we're gonna pick up where we left off there. I'm getting some horrible reception. But the reception seems to change. Sometimes the reception will be better upstairs, and then other times it'll be better downstairs. So I'm down here in my room now. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community standards. Yeah, please do. But we're talking about special control. Special control is a punishment that they use in the Department of Corrections of Colorado, but it's not in the COPD handbook. COPD is Code of Penal Discipline, right? Stacy, what up? Crup, good to see you. Run them likes up, my friends. Share, subscribe. Share the live. Get it out there, man. Get the good word out there. We're trying to do good things. Homie, we don't come down. We come up. You know what I mean? It's all up from here, baby. So, special control. This is what they did to me in Buena Vista. If it didn't go through on the last live because people said it was on a loop, we'll talk about it again. And let me know if it starts looping or glitching or anything like that. But we're going to talk about it again. So I got into it, black fools, and put me in a hole for like 25 days. Everybody's decided to start flooding the tier for whatever reason. I forget what it was. I think one dude was ad seg. He'd been administrative segregation. And after a week of ad seg, they were supposed to give you your whole. As a matter of fact, I do remember this fool named Cowboy, this white boy named Cowboy. And they were supposed to give him his TV after a week. And they just kept stalling him out, just kept giving him excuses and da-da-da-da-da. They wouldn't give him his TV. So they gave the cops ultimatum. They said, man, you got till noon to give this fool his TV or we finna tear this bitch up. So we tore the bitch up. Now, I didn't have nothing to do with it. I was just a little homie, but you know what I mean? If we ride and fuck these dudes. Footloose, what up, my homie? So we flood the tier. I had a bunch of tobacco. I brought a bunch of tobacco from the minimum. I started in the minimum. I caught an assault over there. They kicked me out like right away. And then as soon as I get to the high side, to the medium side, oh man, my nose is itching. As soon as I get to the medium side, I get into it with this black fool, right? So I'm in a hole. They decide to tear the hole up. I got a bunch of tobacco, a lighter. I'm just rolling sticks and just handing them out. Handing them out to everybody. We're just smoking on the tier. Fuck it. Passing them through the bars and shit like that. So they put us down in the lower part of the dungeon. There's a dungeon in Buny. And this is an old child's reformatory where they used to put children that were mentally ill, children that kept getting convicted of crimes, children that were too violent, that maybe they were autistic or whatever, and they were violent towards their parents, right? So this place was built in the 1870s as a child's reformatory. This place is, I mean, it's a dark place. Buena Vista is a dark place. It's 9,500 feet in the air. It's in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. It's basically nestled in between two Rocky Mountains, right, by the city of Salida. It's about 20 minutes outside of the city of Salida, which is in the middle of goddamn nowhere. If anybody knows where that is, the middle of fucking nowhere. So they put us out there. They put us in the lower north dungeon. And the lower north dungeon is there's cells, and then 3 feet, and then there's walls, 3-foot walls that go out like that. My beard's fire, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it clean. I've been letting it slack, but I'm trying to keep it clean. So you imagine bars, you're in a barred cell, but then there's 3-foot concrete walls that extend outside of the barred cells, so you can't pass things through the bars. So now if we want stuff, you got to fish it because there's a wall like 5 feet in front of you. And so what we usually do is we'll keep like an orange or something like that, an orange or apple, something that's round, or even just make a ball out of something like a paper ball, a hard paper ball. Wrap. Yeah, hit the likes, my friends. Hit the likes. Run the likes up. Share. Like, share, subscribe, man. Share it. Get the word out there, man. So you make like a little paper ball. You tie your line to it, and then you bounce it off the wall. If you wanted to get something to the homie next door, because there's a 3-foot wall extending. So you bounce it, boom, like that. Boom, bounces off the wall, and then it'll bounce into the next homie's cell, and then he can fish the line in. Well, you got to remember that we've done flooded the place, right? Freedom from Palestine, right? So they flooded the place. Place is covered in water. And they say, oh, well, you guys want to flood the place? Well, how about this? We'll put you on special control. Special control, they take everything out of your cell except for your boxers. That's all you get. If you're good for 24 hours, they give you a mattress. If you're good for another 24 hours, they give you a blanket. You're good for another 24 hours, they give you all your bedding, right? And then you get like your hygiene, you get a shower after like 4 or 5 days, you get a shower and you slowly earn all your stuff back. And then eventually they give you stuff back and they put you back in population. They put you on management loaf. Management loaf is where they take everything that you were supposed to get in your tray. They throw it in a blender. They blend it up into a mush. Then they pour the mush on a pan and they put the pan in the oven. So only a few flushes a day in a part-time sink. 410 knows what I'm talking about. They turn the water off so you can't flood the place, right? So they give you this management loaf. The management loaf is unedible. They're feeding us rotten fruit, right? I remember that. I remember getting an orange and I had to like cut half of it off because it was nasty, but I was able to eat the other half, right? They're basically starving you. They know you're not going to eat that management loaf. You pick the beans out of it if there's some beans or something like that, or something like, maybe there'll be a little piece of pie or something that's actually still good. You'll hit that. Would you ever do a part 2 Dub to come up interview? I should, right? So they put us down there. We're there for 3 days. I got my mattress back. I got a what's called back. But what they did was they put us down there. Now, this is I'll tell you exactly whenever it was. I remember whenever it was. It was in February of 2002. February of 2002. We're 9,500 feet in the air. So we're in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. We've just flooded the place, so there's water everywhere. They put the air conditioner on. They take all your clothes except for your boxers, and they open up all the windows. The windows are about 8 feet in front of your cell, if that, 7 feet, 6 feet maybe, right there in front of your cell. So there's a window right in front of me, right there, open, wide open, in the middle of winter, February, in the Rocky Mountains with the air conditioner on, and they take all your clothes. So someone figures out on the first night, they say, hey, homie, if you take your boxers off and you wrap them around your feet, because your feet are turning blue, like you got no circulation or nothing. They said you could kind of keep yourself warm. You know what I mean? Because the middle of your body is always warm anyway. Your balls and your ass are right there, you know what I mean, right below your heart. This is the part of your body that's the least likely to get frostbitten, right? This is the stuff that gets cold last. These are, your fingers and your toes. That's why when people get frostbitten, most times they lose their fingers and their toes, because this is the hardest to get blood to, right? It's the last thing to get warmed up in your body. So they're freezing us out is what they're doing. It's a form of torture. So somebody says, hey, man, if you take your boxers off, you wrap them around your feet, you know what I mean? Keep them wrapped up real good. You kind of warms your feet up, So now we're laying there butt naked, you know what I mean? You're sitting on a cold metal bed, cold metal bunk. You got your boxers wrapped around your feet real good so that you can keep your feet warm. And after about, I was in that situation because I was already in the hole, and we decided to flood the tier. We flooded the tier, lit a bunch of stuff on fire. We were smoking cigarettes and weed on the tier, stuff, things of this nature. And they decided for whatever reason that I was one of the ringleaders of the situation. I don't know if it was because of the tobacco, because they see me lighting and like passing out cigarettes and stuff like that. I don't know, but I was just a youngster. I was only 19 years old. I wasn't no ringleader of shit. It didn't have nothing to do with me. I never even seen the dude we were riding for. We were riding for that white boy named Cowboy. I never even seen him. He was downstairs. It was him and this fool from Oak Park Blood named Cali B. This fool they called Cali B. He was down there. There was a couple white boys down there. And they all decided, because they hadn't gave Cowboy his TV, which they were supposed to, that we were gonna riot. So down there for 24 hours, and they gave us a mattress back. We're good for another day. I remember the cat Indio from Bessemer Park, local Sureños. He would tell us these, because you can't sleep. He would tell us these stories, you know what I mean? These Native American stories, you know, like stories from his childhood. And he would just talk about things, you know what I mean? He would talk about Indian folklore, like Native American folklore and stuff like that. I'll never forget some of these stories because I didn't know these stories. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up hearing Native American folklore. And so he would tell us these stories, and everybody would just kind of be respectful and just kind of, we're all sitting there just freezing. We're all in it together. You know what I mean? And we would listen. So after 4 days, we're down there for 4 days. And I still remember that morning, I'll never forget this. The woman comes by and she goes to also cell next door, the Sureño cat. She goes to also cell and you hear her scream, ah! She goes, put your fucking clothes on. Well, what happened is he had his boxers wrapped around his feet, and he was still acting up, right? He was still acting up, so they weren't giving him nothing. He didn't have his mattress. He didn't have nothing. This fool was going hard, right? Also didn't give a fuck. I knew him from juvenile too. So he still was wrapping his boxers around his feet, going hard on these fools. Like, fuck it, I'm just trying to stay warm. She comes by to give him breakfast. This fool don't even think about it. He jumps up to get his breakfast, dick and balls swinging. You know what I mean? So she starts screaming, run them lights up, my homie. So she starts screaming, put your fucking clothes on. I still remember, put your clothes on, put your clothes on. So he throws his clothes on, he throws his boxers on, and they give him his, and they give him his food. Then they come to my cell. She gives me my food, goes to Indio's cell next door, gives him his food, goes to the white boy's cell, Milton Berger or whatever, who's the fool who stole the bikes. And then she goes next door to Buzzard's cell, Buzzard from West Side Chico, the Sureño gang. And she starts screaming. You just hear her screaming at the top of her lungs, right? She runs down the fucking tier, takes off. You see these cops come running in, and they run up to this fool's cell. Well, for whatever dumbass reason, these people had decided to give us razors to shave with. And in Buny, what they do whenever you're in the hole is they come by at like 5 a.m. and they give you your razor. And then whenever they come back for breakfast, they have a list of all the people that have razors, and they collect your razor. So you get a couple hours with the razor, maybe an hour with the razor. I don't know exactly how long it was. There's no clocks down there. So Buzzard had unalived himself. He had broken the razor and unalived himself. Buzzard was a youngster. I still remember him. They called him Buzzard because he was kind of a skinny dude with a big nose, and he had a Jay Leno patch. He was only like 22, maybe 20, 21, 22. And he had a Jay Leno patch. He had the white patch right here. He had black hair and a white patch on his thing. And so they come running down there. They snatch this fool up and they drag him out of there. And I see him. They drag him by the cell. Buzzard's gone. Buzzard's bled out. Now, as it turns out, Buzzard only had 9 months left on his sentence. He had done a bunch of juvenile time, and he had taken his life. They were torturing us. They were torturing us down there in that hole. They were freezing us on purpose as a punishment for what we had done. Buzzard's father, blue collar, good to see you. So Buzzard's father shows up at the prison. This fool's pissed. He wants to know why his son, with 9 months left on his sentence, would take his life. This fool's pissed. They yank all of us out of special control, throw us back in population like nothing happened. All of a sudden, our special control's up, just out of nowhere. Special control's up. No, you guys are good. You can go back to, you can go back to what's called. You can go back to population now. Okay, I don't argue with it. I don't say nothing about it. I mean, I'm sure it was traumatizing because I can still remember it. I still remember him dragging him out of there. I still remember the woman screaming. I still remember her screaming and also to put his clothes on, right? I remember the whole situation very vividly that morning. And whenever I got out, I happened to look up and request my COPD convictions, my Code of Penal Discipline convictions, because I was going to make some videos on them. And lo and behold, that write-up's gone. It was a write-up for advocating a facility disruption and engaging in a riot. I've got a couple of those, engaging in riots. They nixed this write-up. It's not anywhere in my write-ups. Apparently, this just didn't exist, right? What they did to us, this special control, this form of torture that they put us through, just didn't exist, right? Run them likes up, man. Y'all are serious about going in on Dub, huh? What's Dub is live calling you a chomo? Okay. Well, get the paperwork. I mean, if we're gonna politic on YouTube, you're supposed to have paperwork, right? So my paperwork's good, homie. Check it if you want to. They checked my paperwork whenever I first got on YouTube. You know what they said? You know what the investigation into me said? They said, that's the most criminal shit we ever seen. That's what they said whenever they looked at my rap sheet. They said, this is the most criminal shit we ever seen from somebody. So you're what you call? You're more than welcome to go look up. Everybody knows my name. Everybody knows who I am. I put my name out there. Yeah, go for it. Run my name. Find out if I'm a mo. Maybe I am a mo. Maybe I'm a sex offender. Maybe I'm a rapist, right? Taking booty. Booty warriors, unite. You know what I mean? Booty warriors unite, my homie. And yeah, so maybe I am. Go check into it. Go look. Go watch my old videos. Comment, subscribe. Watch my old videos. Make me some money. Leave a super chat. And let me know. You know what I mean? Let me know if I'm a chomo. If I'm a chomo, get in there. You can get in there, call me a chomo all you want. I don't care. But you gotta have paperwork, homie. Them are the rules of the joint, dog. Everybody knows y'all be on here. Yeah, y'all be up here gangbanging and everything else. Y'all be up here gangbanging and politicking. Well, that's the rules to the joint. That's the rules to the joint. Dub is asking you to delete his video. I don't think he is. I don't think that's true. Let me get a wrench. Who are you? Midwest? I don't know you. Who is that? Tommy Thunder. 410. You know what I mean? Run them likes up, man. I ain't wrenching up nobody who don't like and subscribe, homie. And then that's just the first test, right? So anyway, they put us through hell. This poor man Buzzard took his own life. I can't imagine what his father felt, you know. And Buena Vista erased it like it never happened. They erased the COPD conviction like it never happened. Just forget about it, I guess. They don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about what they did to us over there. And that was at 19 years old. You know what I mean? That I went that. Yeah, who wants a wrench? The age of consent in Dylan is 16. Stupid. Hey, that's what Adam 22 said. He said the age in consent in Canada is 16. Marley looks nothing like Dub. Who's Marley? Oh, is that his baby? That's his kid? Man, y'all going hard on Dub. What's going on? Is Dub a celebrity these days? Did Dub finally make it? Y'all real interested in Dub. But Marley is my daughter. Marley looks like Preston's stepdad, Dave. I don't know who. I think that's his daughter. I think you're talking about his daughter, but I don't know who Preston is or any of that other stuff. 18 plus chat must be an adult to chill up in here. Yeah. Yeah, no kids. This isn't for. And I said, and then I marked these videos not appropriate for children, because I ain't ever talking about nothing that's appropriate for children. Run them likes up. Look at you stalkers. Keep trying. Stalkers. Yeah. You're all stalkers, bro. Stalking my life. Would you do the part 2 Dub vid? Sure. Hey, man. Dub's a human being, man. Just like everybody else. And if you watch the video, you know, I'm sure there's some untruths in there. I'm sure Dub put a 10 on a 2 and some of the things that he said, you know. But if you know anything about reading people, you can see that the man he didn't have an easy life, right? The man didn't have an easy life at all. I'll never do another interview with Gangish. Oh, is that you, Dub? Dub will buck. He's scared to do part 2 interview. Yeah, hit that like, man. Run them up, man. Share it to Dubs. Share it on your channel if that's you. You know what I mean? What's bracking, Los? Oh, there's the homie right there. The homie from ZMP right there. We was talking about you earlier. I made a little video about the Chicano Bloods in Denver. You know what I mean? The evolution of the Chicano Bloods and how it all worked out and all the different sets and crews that popped up. I talked about your crew too. You know what I mean? As far as I know, you guys were just kind of like a family, right? Y'all was just a bunch of family that was Bloods. I think all y'all was related pretty much. For the most part, the whole hood was related, you know? And there's different hoods like that out here. A lot of hoods like that are just all related. Or are family gangs. You know what I mean? Yeah, their family, the homie's family is deep. 0-man posse. I remember one of them cats. First time I met one of them cats, I was like 14 in Montview. I still don't know who he was. It may have been AZ. Honestly, now that I think back on it, maybe you could tell me who he is, Matt. Okay, this cat was wetter than a motherfucker. He was white. He might have been Mexican, but he was wetter as fuck. And that fool had some big ass glasses. Like we was in juvenile, and this fool had some Chominators on. The Chominator 5000s, big ass glasses. But he was with the business. The fool was with the business. He was a skinny white boy, and that fool was with it, homie. He was down, ready to go. Midwester going to jail. I don't remember his name. Like I said, this is over. Well, this is 28 years ago. Something like that. I was like 14 years old in Montview. 28 years ago. He was wet as fuck. He was skinny, and he had some big ass glasses, homie. And I think he was at least as tall as me, if not a little bit taller than me. But Dub was on the run. All family, yeah, the homie Charles Rendog. That's probably who it was. I can't even remember his name, but that was the first time I had ever heard of that hood, you know? And then I end up living with AZ. Me and AZ ended up living in that house. I think that was one of your family members' house. She was renting that place right there on 7th. And I ended up right there on 7th and Sheridan, like damn near on the corner. I end up watching. Or I end up not watching. I end up living in the house with AZ. Years and years and years later, we end up living together, doing the most, running amok. I still remember that. They let me. They were like, "No, homie, we got a spot for you. We got a room down here. Like, just come over, homie." And I went over there. They're like, "Well, the rent's $300 a month. Everybody's kind of splitting it. $300 a month." Okay, cool. Man, I went out the next day, had a G-Ride, Stolo, hit the block, and just started cracking. I came back with like 6 trash bags full of loot, homie, full of stolen food. I had steaks and lobsters and hygiene and just all kinds of shit. Literally came back. The homie Ganimal from GKI, he was living there too. And we had to carry it all in. And I carried all this stuff into the room. And then fools, AZ and them looked at all that stolen shit. They said, "You ain't got to pay rent, homie." They said, "Forget about the 300. You ain't got to pay no rent. All you got to do is keep doing that." I still remember it. They said, "You don't pay no rent here, dog. All you got to do is keep doing that." Let's see. That was my sister, Amber. Yeah. She had moved out. Moved out, and the dude hadn't sold the place, and they let us stay there until the dude sold the place. You know what I mean? Man, we tore that house up. The homie, we didn't mean to. Gangish are already abuse charges equivalent to a Momo charges. Are elderly abuse charges? I don't know if they're equivalent, but you a piece of shit. 8th and Yates. Yep. 8th and Yates. Yeah, right there on the corner. And I wouldn't say they're equivalent to a Momo charge, but you a piece of shit, homie. If you beating up old people, if you abusing old people, you a piece of shit, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about you accidentally ran some old lady over or something whenever you was committing a crime or something like that. I'm talking about if you're in a position of trust, to take care of an old person, or it's like your grandma or something like that, and you put your hands on those people, yeah, homie, you fucked up. You a piece of shit, dog. In my eyes, age of consent is 16 where Dub lives. You don't mess with kids, animals, or the elderly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, homie, there was this dude out here. There was a dude in Jefferson County. I was in Jefferson County out here. And there was a dude on the news. And what he did was, for whatever goddamn reason, I don't know what this dude's problem was, he went and got some puppies. I think he stole some puppies from the pet store. He either stole them or he bought them. He then took the puppies. This is going to be for people who like dogs. This is going to suck, but I'm going to tell you what happened. I got at his ass. So he took these puppies, little puppies. He went and bought some duct tape and some lighter fluid, duct taped the puppies up, and lit them on fire. Now, I don't know exactly how it happened that he got busted, but this fool got busted. They had him on tape buying the duct tape and the lighter fluid and and all this nonsense. And we're sitting there in the county looking at this on the news like, what the fuck? Who does that? Like, what is wrong with you? You might as well be a sex offender. Like, you straight piece of shit. So then I'm sitting there in Max, and sure enough, about a week later, this dude come walking in the pod. I said, man, that's that dude. That's the dude with the puppies. They said, what? They said, what's his name? I said, I don't remember what his name is. I said, but that's the dude with the puppies. They said, I don't know. Hold on. So they get to talking, They said, they think this is his name, right? I said, well, let's go find out. So dude's in his cell. He hadn't even come out of cell. He just brought all his stuff into the thing. He hadn't even come out of cell. So I go walking in there. I go, hey, homie, what's going on? What you doing? He's like, oh, nothing. And you could tell he was scared. I said, what's your name, bro? And everybody in the county's got a wristband, and it's got your picture, and it's got your face and your number and your name on it, right? And I said, what's your name, homie? And that fool's eyes got real big, and he started backing up. And I just knew right then, and I could see it. I could see it in his face, and I recognized him from his mugshot, or from the picture that the cops were showing. And I hit him open hand face, right in the nose, dog. Smacked him, and he fell back on his bed. Started lighting his ass up. This fool started screaming. His nose started bleeding and shit. I let him up, and this fool took off running out the cell. Like, why would you do that to some puppies? Like, puppies love everybody. You're mad my gross wife and her kids got trafficked at Yellowstone. You mad at that? I sold them some toddler urine. $20 a pop. The real what the fuck? Man, y'all just going in. Let's see. Forging pretty good, man. Can't complain. Standing on business. Let's God. What up, my homie? Good looking out. Run them likes up, my friend. Share it. Share the live stream. We back in this bitch, homie. I ain't going back for at least another decade. I'm about to finish this master's degree, homie, and try to get in. If I continue my GPA, homie, I'm gonna be a PhD candidate. So we're gonna be talking about Dr. Gangish. Will you interview Dub again? Yeah, I'll interview Dub again. Yeah, fucking with puppies, dog. Like, who? What's wrong with you? There's something seriously wrong with you, dog. If you lighting a puppy on fire, like, I don't understand. I love my dog, man. I love all dogs. There's a dog here in the house. I love that dog. And I just met that dog. Just got out of jail a couple days ago. That dog's awesome. You know what I mean? I love dogs. Can't imagine why anybody would do that to a dog. You know what I mean? The Chinese, you know. Hey, that's not funny. Dub microwaved a kid and recorded it. You know, there was a kid in Fremont out here. I've never been to Fremont, but Fremont is a prison out here, and like 40%, 50% of the population is SOs, right? Sex offenders. One of these fucking weirdos got a rabbit, because there's rabbits everywhere during the spring. You know what I mean? The goddamn bunnies are everywhere. Got a rabbit, brought it into the pod, and threw it in the microwave. And microwaved the rabbit. And I wasn't there, but that man had a violent exit from the pod. From what I understand, he had a violent, like 60%. Like I said, I never been over there, but it's a camp that's known for sexual predators. This is where they have the sexual program over there. There's it's like the level 1 program. The level 1 sexual program was in Fremont, and then if you graduated that, they would send you to Arrowhead, a minimum camp called Arrowhead. I never made it over there either. And that was where they used to do all the canteen out of, was over in Arrowhead. And they would send them to Arrowhead, and that would be the level 2. You're going to jail because you support the crew? Their crew? What crew? Either Crowley and CSP. That's all you went to? Yeah, Crowley and CSP. I'm telling you, man. If you, and that was the thing too back in the day. Like, I wasn't no super individual at all. You know what I mean? Most of the people that Tremont, yeah. Oh, tree jumping motherfuckers. Stony Tony's crew. Maybe I am part of the Stony Tony crew. Is Stony Tony going to jail or something? I've been out of the loop, man. Y'all got to tell me, did Stony Tony do something crazy? I don't know. You know, Dub's lawyer dropped him because he's got Mo tendencies. White boy, what's up? Yeah, white boy, he knows white boy too. And so back in the day, like, if you was even active at all, you'd end up in fucking CSP or Centennial or something like that. And these are the penitentiaries. You lock down all day, level 4s and 5s. Somebody locked down all day. Out here, it's not like California. California got 4 levels. Out here, we got 5. There's a minimum restrictive. There's medium. There's close. And then there's the penitentiary. There's max. And max, you lock down. It's 23 and 1. There's no human contact. They ever do time with Wes Watson? No, I never did time with Wes Watson. You never punched me. Sucker punched me. He sucker punched me? Who? Someone sucker punched you? Oh, is that whenever Dub got slapped upside the head or whatever? That's you. I seen that shit. Y'all be going hard on Dub, boy. Run them likes up. Share the live, man. Gangish, you should feel honored. Dub came in here just to get some attention from you. He doesn't know how to interact with others, but it's a way of asking for your friendship. No, Dub, you got punched. Is that a hardworking man? Is that really Dub or what? Yeah. Let's see. I had a TV, that one channel that was black and white at CSP. Yeah, man, that TV, like, whenever they put you in 23 and 1, the TV becomes like irrelevant. The only thing I liked was they had the music channels. You could put it on, it would be a black screen, but it would just play music. You know what I mean? But like, you can only watch so many episodes. I mean, daytime TV is the same all the time. My cousin was 14. He got shot in the head a year ago by his friend. They said it was an accident. Happened on Federal at his house. Could have been a gang initiation. Man, that's a rough gang initiation. I'd rather just get put on the set, homie, just get quoted. I got quoted, homie. I got quoted by 3 of the homies, banged it out. You know what I mean? I got fucked up, but yeah, I ain't never had to shoot nobody in the head to get on the hood. Your hood's going harder than mine ever did, I guess. That was my only visit. Yeah. So, you know, you get in there in CSP, you know, I did 4 years of that shit, 4 years of this solitary confinement shit. And I wasn't like taking people's lives or nothing like that. I wasn't no high power individual or nothing like that. You know, I had a little bit of juice towards the end of my sentence. People started to know who I was and whatnot, but the vast majority of it, man, I was defending myself. You know what I mean? You put me in Buny. Buny was, they continued the trend of having a bunch of youngsters there for years and years and years. And it was, man, it was like 70% of the population was gangbangers under 25 years old. So we was just heads up. heads up all day. It didn't matter. There wasn't no talking it out. If you got into it with somebody, you was going to throw the heads. Now the big homies had it to where nobody was dying. I'll give them that. Nobody was getting killed. The people that were offing themselves were they were taking their own lives, right? Thanksgiving Day in 2003, a man jumped off the 3rd tier. He was down there in the hole whenever we flooded it, right? I'd say the 3rd tier it's at least 30 feet in the air. I don't know exactly how long it is, but it's at least from the top of it, because you're 3 stories up. And then there's the bar, and the bar is maybe 4 foot high or something like that. And he got up on the top bar and he jumped off. Now, I wasn't in South Unit. I didn't get to see it. But they said that fool hit the ground and it just boom, like that. And they said he bounced. The dude actually bounced. And then they said he rolled around on the ground. And what had happened was he hit the ground and he knocked the wind out of himself. Imagine this. He knocked the wind out of himself so bad that he couldn't catch his breath. So he rolled around on the ground until he turned purple and passed out from lack of oxygen, right? And then, so they take him. I still remember cops running all over the place. They snatch his fool up, drag him down to the hole. He wakes up like a day and a half later in the hole. He's like, what the fuck happened? And this fool would wake up randomly in the hole, wake up and be like, what am I doing down here? What's going on down here? Right? He was like, he had done some damage to his head, couldn't remember what the fuck he had done. Jumped off the 3rd tier. Fucked himself up. He didn't die, though. And then, like I said, Buzzard took his own life. Let's see. Stacy, go your little chat, Doubleina. Oh, yeah. You started this, Dub. I just ended it. Dub lied on my name. Dub lied on my name. But so I mean, and then there was some black dude. There was some black dude who went up for like a layup. We're in Beauty. Everybody's playing what you call. This fool goes up for a layup, come down dead. His heart exploded. He has some sort of heart condition they didn't know about. Do you believe it's Sonny Barger's nephew from the hell? I don't know. Maybe. But so in like, I mean, I was only in Beauty for 10, 11 months. Buzzard offed himself. The dude jumped off the 3rd tier, tried to off himself. The black dude fell out. Somebody else died too. And then I seen and 11 months, out of that 11 months, I was in a hole for 6 months, right? So in 5 months of population, all this happened, and there was this little what you call? This is in Buena Vista, Colorado. So there was this little blonde cop, this little woman who was a blonde cop, and she was kind of a bitch, you know what I mean? And so there's this black dude sitting there at the table, and he's sitting there eating. We're all working in the kitchen. I worked in the kitchen in Beauty. We're all sitting there working in the kitchen, and dude's just sitting there minding his business. The black dude's just sitting there minding his business, rolling silverware, and just chilling. And this woman's just going in on him. And this fool finally, he gets up. He don't say a word. To her. He walks up on her and just drops her. Boom, just hits her. Knocks her down. She falls back into the tables. That fool walks up, sits on her chest, and just starts drilling her. Blah, 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 blah. Just bouncing her head off it's not concrete, but it's like hard tile. Something like that. Just wrecking her, dog. Well, this other inmate runs over, tackles him. Chicano fool runs over and tackles him. He's like, nah, man, you're going to kill her. Runs over, tackles dude. The cops come in, wrap the dude up, and drag her out of there. And I remember they picked her up, and she was pumpkin-headed. Her whole head was just swollen. And you could see there was slits where her eyes were. You know what I mean? If you've ever seen, it looked like that one Crip fool who got jumped. They show him in the story. And he's like, they got me, cuz they got me. If you ever seen that video, that's what it looked like. You couldn't even see his eyes. Couldn't even see her eyes. It was just slits. And I still remember it was all pumpkin headed. And because it is swollen up, it exaggerated her makeup. It like spread her makeup out. So all it looked like she was blonde. And her head was swollen. And she had slits in her eyes, and you could see all the blue makeup. She had like blue mascara, and because her eyes were so puffed out, it was just like these blue streaks around her head. They snatched her up and they dragged her out of there. And this is in like 5 months of population. You know, I caught 3 assaults in 6 months. That's what ended up getting me sent to CSP, right? And like I said, I wasn't no high power individual. I was a youngster. I was just a youngster. And mostly I was scared. I was in there nervous and scared. There was some monsters running around there. I still remember why I started working out. I didn't even work out because of the political shit, because you're supposed to work out. I worked out because I remember going to the gym one day with the homie Tone B. Homie Tone B was in there from Bloods. And I said, he goes, man, you should come work out with me. And the big homie Speedy was telling me I should work out too. And I go down there in the gym and I look over, and there's a set of these 4 black fools, and they got like 365 on the bench, and they're just working out with it. They're like 4 of them, yoked, big ass black fools. And I'm like, God damn. And everybody knows in this joint, we on man time, homie. It's heads up. It's heads up, one-on-one. And I'm thinking, I can't fight these fucking dudes. What the fuck am I going to do against one of them dudes? Like, these dudes were fucking yoked. And I'm like, hell no. And that's what made me start. I said, man, I got to get on this. I got to be the best me that I could be, right? Because if I got to go in a cell with one of them dudes, hell no. Hell no. You know, and that's what really made me start working out, because there was monsters, homie. There's monsters in prison. There's fools that you look at that you're like, if I go in a cell with this dude, he could probably take my life with his hands. I remember thinking that. I remember looking at these dudes, looking at these big ass black dudes and thinking, that dude could take my life with his hands. I said, man, I got to be the best me that I could be. I got to start working out. And ever since then, homie, I get my hour a day minimum. You know what I mean? No matter what. Let's see. Do it yourself, Dean. How you doing? Alvarez has power in Diller. He wants you out of his jurisdiction. Hack, I'm waiting for you to prove anything. I don't have any kids. Dub, if that is you. I don't know if that's you or not. But I don't have any kids, brother. I never had any kids. I went to prison real young. And whenever I got out, I was with a woman named Brandy for a couple years, and I was pretty careful. I was still ripping and running. I didn't want to have a kid. I got to go to sleep. I've been working since 9 p.m. Oh, damn. West up, my homie. Be cool. I'll see you around. Thank you for the support, my homie. Share that bitch. Like, share, subscribe, all that. Tell the homies I said what's up. What up, blood? It was that prison was vicious, man. Prison's full of monsters, you know what I mean? But and you know, motherfuckers ain't in prison for because they had a good life. Motherfuckers ain't joining gangs because they had a good life. You know what I mean? A lot of these dudes been through some shit, and a lot of these dudes are dangerous. A lot of them ain't. You know what I mean? A lot of them are just putting on a front, or a lot of them are just trying to make it. You know what I mean? I put myself in that category. I never went in there fronting. I'm just trying to make it out this motherfucker alive. You know what I mean? And then after a while, you know, you do it for a little while. You keep your name right. You shut your mouth when you're supposed to, and you end up with a little bit of juice. You know what I mean? Handle your business and do what you're supposed to do, and go in a cell when you're supposed to go in a cell, and strap up when you're supposed to strap up. You know what I mean? And hit the yard. And then before you know it, you end up. Maddie gave us consent to hit up Bella. The fuck is that? I only know one Bella, and I don't think that's who you're talking about. So, not minding your business. My wife Natasha has a successful YouTube channel. Good for you, Dean. That's good. What's she talk about? If you're being genuine, Dean, if you're being genuine and your wife actually has a successful YouTube channel, post it in the comments. You know what I mean? Or I don't know if you can. You're not a wrench. I don't know if you can or not. But if somebody wants to, you know what I mean? If you're being genuine, though, I don't care. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Good for her. My wife has over 10K subs. That's cool, Dean. Good for you, brother. Good for you. You know, good for her. You know, what's she talk about? You missed a lot. Dub got arrested again. He has trial next week for stalking and harassing his daughter. No bullshit. Let's see. Melinda Trujillo. Yo, Gangish, I've been watching you for a minute. You had the homie Mr. Chris. Man, like half these tattoos are from Mr. Chris, dog. I got, as a matter of fact, that right there, the ace up my sleeve, that I got that one live. There's a video of me having that one live. He did it live on my shit. Mr. Chris is my motherfucker, man. Yeah, I got all kinds of tattoos. I've been getting tattoos from Mr. Chris since I was a little kid. You know what I mean? That's my motherfucker. I seen him. He's still on Facebook. He said he's getting ready to start it up again. He still owes me the rest of this sleeve, as a matter of fact. He's supposed to finish this sleeve. I forgot about that. I prepaid him for that motherfucker. And yeah, he's supposed to finish this motherfucker, fill in some of the gaps. Dub never made it in prison. Hacking his wife stalked my family. Have you heard from him? Yeah, no, I just on I haven't heard from him specifically. He liked some of my stuff on Facebook whenever I got out and I started, posting and talking and stuff like that again. But I haven't talked to him. I need to get in touch with him, touch down with him again. You know what I mean? Like I said, get this sleeve finished. This one's already finished. I need to get this one finished. Think about getting my chest done too. I need to get my chest done. I want to get my chest done and probably my back. I want to get a big ass back piece. I don't know what I want to get. I want to maybe a big old Padre, the little Padre emblem. You know what I mean? The little dude, the little friar in the robe. Just get a big ass one on my back, like that big. Get a little desert scene behind it. You know what I mean? Like the old Mexico desert scene. Put a little cactus or something like that in the background. You know, I was worried about him. If you do, tell him to hit me up, please. Malin Trujillo. Let me see if I got a pen. I do got a pen. Let me see. I'll write that down. Let's see. Yeah, because I'm gonna talk to him real quick. Like I said, I just been getting things together here. Mr. Chris is a star. Get at her, Mr. Chris. Let's see. But she's not 100K. Pull up. Rick made a video about getting arrested with somebody at Walmart a little while ago. That wasn't when you got hemmed up. No. That was that was a while ago. That whenever he caught that situation in Walmart. Plus, I think they dismissed all his stuff at Walmart. Him and his brother, they charged him with a bunch of nonsense, and it was just a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? They were kind of in a podunk jurisdiction, and they thought they had the biggest bust that they had ever seen or something like that. And it all ended. They threw like all the spaghetti at the wall, and like barely none of it stuck. I think he got a misdemeanor out of it or something like that. Like what they charged him with and what he ended up getting pleading out to was like nothing. I think he got unsupervised probation or something like that. It was like, no, that wasn't me. I just got bumped. That was a while back. Whenever that happened, I got bumped in my own situation about 2 months ago. I got bumped in early March. So no, I didn't get bumped up with Rick. He did a slick ass drawing on my dad. Hey, homie, I was in the joint with Mr. Chris whenever I hurt my back and I couldn't do much. I was actually on a walker. They had me on a walker in the joint. And that motherfucker took care of me, man. And all he would do, that fool would make posters. He would get these big ass sheets. I think it's people were sending him in sheets of like drawing paper, of good sketching paper. And that fool would just sit there and he would create posters. It was like a poster size sheet of paper. And that fool would just draw posters all day. And I couldn't do much. So I would sit in the pod with him. We'd just sit there and hang out, fucking eat honey buns and fucking Star Crunch and Swiss rolls and shit like that. And it was cool. You know what I mean? That's my homie. Thunder Gang. see. Yeah, hit the like, my friends. Hit the like, share, subscribe, man. Share that joint. Let's get the good word out. Let's see. Gangish, hit my link. Don't let these punk motherfuckers lie about me. Let's see. Done the gang. Dub, we could do another interview. I got no problem with you, man. I ain't never had a problem with you. You know what I mean? I just don't, you can't be saying the N-word, homie. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that it's, you know what I mean? That's the only problem. I've been straight about that from the start. That's the only problem I've ever had with you, dog. You can't be dropping N-bombs on the internet, dog. You want to do it at home with your own people or whatever, man, do whatever you do. But it's just not, it's not cool anymore, man. It's 2025, man. People are people. All people are people, homie, and all people deserve at least a little bit of modicum of respect. You know what I mean? And it's just not helpful to be calling people stuff like that. Don't hit the link. It's a dong picture. It's always a dong picture. And that's a penis. But I say whatever I want. Well, if you say the N-word, I'm going to cut it out, dog. You can't have that on my channel. It's good to kill them all. Kill them with kindness. Good to see you. Don't hit Dub link. He's a chomo. Do it yourself. What's cracking? Yeah. Yeah, no, don't. I mean, you can scream the N-word on your channel if you want to. But if you do it in an interview, I mean, I'll let you do it. Whatever you want to scream the N-word, that's fine. But I'm going to cut it out. Or I'm going to bleep it out or something like that. Or I'm going to put a big old eggplant emoji over your mouth whenever you say it. It's going to go beep, and there'll be a big old eggplant like this, like next to your mouth. Homie, the eggplant emoji. So, can't be saying that. But nah, man, I'll do an interview with you. You know what I mean? Clearly, you're still a topic of conversation. You know, for whatever reason, you've managed to stay relevant on YouTube for years now. You know, these people still talking about you, still showing up trying to troll you. So you're doing something right. You know, you're a human being, man. Dub's a human being. I'm tired of them lying on me. Weavis, what are you doing, my homie? Let's see. Cheek the Patriot. That was the lame that got hit in front of his wife and had the police come to save him. Salute, my friend. Salute. Oh, yeah. And so Rick did call me the other day. I don't know if anybody's seen the live stream where I was talking about Rick. Rick says, no, you got it wrong. Here's why. So I need to get my phone number back. Well, as soon as I get my first paycheck, I'll get my phone number back. As soon as I get my phone number back, I can get into my Cash App. I can get into my Venmo. I can get into all my financial tech and my different the different fintechs that I have, and we can see if Rick is telling the truth. But it looks like it's halfway in the middle. Rick's claiming he sent me 14 of the $1,800. That he only shorted me 1,400, or that he only shorted me 400. Right? As far as I was concerned, he shorted me 1,200, which obviously there's a long distance between 400 and 1,200. Now the proof is going to be if it showed up in my Cash App, and the confusion comes in because when I was ripping and running and doing the most, my phone got stolen and my wallet got stolen, and so I drained my Cash App. I took all the money out of my Cash App, and I told everybody, don't send me no money on Cash App. Now what Rick failed to do was answer any of my fucking phone calls or tell me, hey, I sent you some money, right? My bad about what happened. I'm going to send you some more money. He never did that. He never returned my phone calls. He didn't text me. He didn't do nothing. It looks like he sent a bunch more money, another like $600, $700, and it probably got stolen by the people who stole my wallet, right? They went and ran it out. As far as I'm concerned, there's no money in the Cash App. So I didn't lock the Cash App or anything like that because there's no money in it. I'm like, fuck it. Let him go run the fucking card. I left the card open because I wanted them to go try to run the card so maybe the motherfuckers would get busted, right? Then it's on you. Then it's your fault. I can't call the cops. You know what I mean? I know who I think stole it, but I can't call the cops. But if your dumb ass goes and runs the card and gets busted with a stolen card, that's on you. You know what I mean? So I left the card open. It looks like Rick may have sent a bunch of money to the card, and it most likely got stolen by these people. So I got to get into my Cash App and see if the transactions are there. If the transactions are there, Rick still owes me $400, but I'll take back some of the ththings I said about the man. You know what I mean? And overwhelmingly, you know what I mean? Rick's my homie, man. Rick has been my homie. He's been a good friend to me. He did some dumb shit. He's done some dumb shit and shit like that. Some shit that was stupid, some rookie mistakes, but nothing to make him a piece of shit, like burning me for and running off with a bunch of fucking the cartel's money. You know what I mean? But as good as it can be. Miss Dang, I see you. Chicago West, what up? That's some shit luck. Denver made. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It looks like he may have. I just wish he would have said, hey, I sent you that fucking money, because if I'd have known there was a bunch of money in there, I could have transferred it. Because I had my Cash App connected to my Chime account at the time. I could have transferred it over into Chime, went and got the goddamn money out of Chime, but he wouldn't answer the phone, right? Rick wouldn't answer the phone, and he never texted me and let me know that the money was coming, right? I'm not with Natasha no more. Chicago West, what up? Man, double tap, hit that like, man. Run them likes up. Run them like, it don't cost you nothing, homie. It don't cost you nothing. I don't need a donation, just a like, man. A like, and if you really like me, a share, homie. Give me a share, dog. Share the live. You know what I mean? Tell the people, spread the good word. We're at 15% battery left. Yeah, subscribe for more. We're going to be on here talking about all kinds of shit. Be politicking. We got to dub it. If everybody's telling the truth, we got to dub the come up interview. I'm sure y'all want to see that. We got to dub the come up interview going. You know, about time. Tasha kicked you to the curb. You're a burden on those kids. Man, y'all just go fucking in on Dub's the villain of the internet still, man. 410. Yeah, it's free 99, homie. It's free 99. You know what I mean? Hook me up. Hook me up. Hook a player up, man. Just trying to make it. I need some money to get my phone back. You know what I mean? I'm monetized on this bitch. Every like, every share, every subscribe, all that shit. You ain't got to send me no money. Just the free stuff. That's all I want. Send me the free stuff, homie. I got to get my phone back. We got to go see if Rick telling the truth or not. You know what I mean? That's going to be a video too. You know? We got to see. All the amazing people in the chat, respect. I spoke to Rick. He also said the transaction fee take 15%. I don't know what the fuck that means. But Cash App to Cash App don't cost nothing. Ain't no trend. Now, he sold the ring for $3,100, and they take 25% of that, the transaction fee of that. But that wasn't calculated into the money I was expected from Rick. I knew that we sold it for $3,100, and what was left was $2,460. I owe the Mexicans $1,200. That leaves us $1,260 to split. $1,260 to split is $630 plus $1,200. Rick owes me $1,830, right? He sent me $600, and as far as I was concerned, disappeared. He never talked to me again, never said nothing, never answered the phone, never nothing, right? One other time he answered the phone, gives me some drag about his car, said this and that, da-da-da-da-da, but never said. Then after that, what he's saying is, no, I sent you more money. He's saying I sent you another like $700 or something like that. But he never said nothing. He never told me he didn't know, in fairness, he didn't know that my wallet had got stolen. He didn't know that somebody else had my Cash App card. You know what I mean? So fair enough, but fuck, just tell me the money's there. I could have pulled the money out. You know what I mean? You got to say something. Juan Gotti, not answering the phone or trying to get a hold of you, shady shit. No matter, it is and he admitted that. He's like, I fucked up. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I went through some things. You know what I mean? And he's been going through it. He came out here and like you said, he got jammed up out here. They charged him with some shit, and they charged him with yeah. So yeah, I know. Like, I didn't even have the money to pay the Mexicans. Like, I paid off some of it. I've got some of the bill paid down, but I still owe these people. Like, luckily they believed me. You know what I mean? The Mexicans believed me. They're cool about it because I had done good business with them, and they're like, we believe what you're saying, so we're going to give you a pass on this, but you still got to pay us. You know what I mean? And I just talked to Homegirl the other day. I still got to pay these people. You know what I mean? They gave me a good chance to make some money, and that was another thing that pissed me off, because it was a chance to make more money. It was a foot in the door to make a bunch more money. And I'm like, Rick, what are you doing, homie? What are you doing? You know what I mean? You're fucking killing me here, dog. But no, I haven't recovered my losses. You know what I mean? Hell no, I haven't recovered my losses. I went to jail a week later. Like a week after all this happened, I didn't hear a fucking thing from Rick. I go to jail. You know what I mean? And he's saying he put the money. He's saying I sent the money on Cash App. I sent another $700 on Cash App. He's like, I know it wasn't all of it, but I sent it on Cash App. And if he did, it because I tried to use my Cash App the other day. I don't have the card, but I have it saved in my Google, and I tried to use it on something. I tried to use it to take an Uber, and it wouldn't take it. So there ain't no money in there. You know what I mean? So if he did send it, it got stolen. It's good seeing you back. On your last live, you said you relapsed in February. That was February 24 or 25. I remember you went live this past February. It looked high as heck. Oh, yeah. No, this is February 24. I've been fucking up since February 24. That was whenever the homies died. I've been fucking up. So I was fucking up for a year. I was fucking my life off for a year. I heard Big Natty left Dub. Natty, Big Natty. No, oh yeah, and if I looked high as hell on that, what's called, yeah, I was higher than shit. Higher than giraffe pussy. See, Chicago sent you an email. UK Tina. Oh, what up, UK Tina? I ain't seen you in a while either. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Run them likes up, man. Share the stream. Share the stream. I just made a short of you on my channel. Cool. Good looking out, man. You know what I mean? Get the good word out there. I'll take all of it. I'll take all the exposure. Even the bad shit. I don't care. Whatever. You want to talk shit? You want to run me into the ground? You think I'm full of shit? Take it to the internet, homie. Let's see what you got. Let's see. You already know what to do. You got over 10 years being clean and no issues with the law. Yeah, I gotta get it back. You know what I mean? I stumbled. I went through a rough patch. You know what I mean? I went through a rough patch, and you know, we blow out at our weakest point. You know, whatever your weakest point is, whether it's, you know, some people it's food, some people it's sex, some people it's drugs or alcohol. You know what I mean? But that's where we tend to blow out. We tend to blow out where our weakest point is. You know what I mean? Whenever the weight of the world gets too what you call for. Some people channel it positively and they work out. Some people work out too damn much. They'll destroy their bodies, working out and starving themselves and trying to get all ripped up and dehydrating themselves. You know what I mean? They'll destroy their bodies, destroy their kidneys. Some people, you know, this is what sex addicts are doing. You know what I mean? Sex addicts aren't doing it because life's good. Sex addicts do the things that they do and ruin their life with sex, sleeping with strangers and stuff like this, because the weight of the world becomes too much for them. And so they blow out at their weakest point, you know, and most of them have been messed with. Most sex addicts have been played with by their uncle or their father or something like that. Somebody took advantage of them. You know what I mean? That's what happens most of the time. We blow out at our weakest point. And unfortunately, my weakest point was methamphetamine. You know what I mean? I've got an entrenched habit from whenever I was a kid. You know, I can remember being like 11 years old in this park in California. And there was a dude, it was a skater dude. He pulled up to the park. He's like, hey, what's up, bro? And we're sitting there smoking weed. He's like, you want to smoke? I was like, hell yeah, he had a big old bag of weed. And he was puffing with me. It's called South Valley Park in Ukiah, California. He's puffing. We're passing back and forth. And that fool pulled out an apple. And he pulled out a little baggie. He opened up the baggie and he poured some dope. I didn't know what it was at the time. It was speed. He poured some dope on the apple and he let it kind of melt into it. Then he took a bite of the apple. I said, what's that? You know what I mean? Like, I seen people put salt and stuff like that or Lucas or whatever on an apple before, but I never like pull out a little baggie. I was like, what's that? He goes, it's speed. He goes, you get high? I was like, no. He goes, you will. I never forget that. 11 years old. He said, you will. I don't know. I don't know what he saw. I don't know if it was just the nature of Northern California. You know what I mean? There's so many people on speed out there. Maybe. I don't know. I don't miss my jaw rocking days. Yeah. Jaw going 1,000,000 miles an hour. I got to stretch my leg out a little bit. Actually, I'm just going to get up. We'll cruise around a little bit. It's a beautiful day outside. see. My ex-girlfriend lived in Longmont, Colorado. You ever been there? Any experience with that city? Her name was Bug. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, the Mexicans that gave me that fucking ring, the whole situation with VPS, that's where they from, as a matter of fact. So looks like I'm glitching out over there. Gangish, keep my daughter Marley name out your mouth and we good. I don't even know your daughter. I ain't speaking on your daughter. I don't speak on nobody's kids, homie. Fuck, I'm gonna speak on someone's kids for. I don't know your kids like that. I don't speak on things I don't know, homie. I don't just speak on shit for no reason. So you ain't gotta worry about that. I'll keep her name out my mouth, I promise. But let's get together, Dub. Let's get together and do an interview. Dub the Come Up, homie, part 2. Dub's Revenge. You know what I mean? I talked about your kids. How'd I talk about your kids? Your reaction on Dub's first interview when he said he had 20 kids was hilarious. He said he had 20 kids? I don't remember him saying that. He might have said that. I don't know. Does he have 20 kids? I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't talk about people's. What the fuck I look like talking about people's kids in college, trying to get a master's degree, and then I come on the fucking internet and talk about people's kids. What kind of duck ass shit is that? I got bigger fish to fry, homie, than people's kids or their grandmas or anything like that. 12 kids, my bad. Okay. Dub might have 12 kids. My best friend just had his 10th. Yeah, I do need to do a StreamYard. But the problem is this phone is a complete piece of shit, and I've been having problems with it already. And anything I download in it, it's making it more and more gummed up. Like if I record a video or something like that, I got to use it, cut it up, and then go delete the fucking video because this phone is just a piece of trash. You know what I mean? I lost my iPhone whenever I got arrested. I didn't want to. It was kind of hidden in my stuff, and I didn't want the cops getting a hold of it because then they'll go run that goddamn phone and they'll run back all your locations or whatever, you know what I mean, and try to pin stuff on you. You know what I mean? If something happened in the area where you was in, they'll try to pin stuff on you. So I don't want the cops getting a hold of my phone. So whenever I got arrested, all the stuff that they took from me, it went wherever it went. I don't know where it went. It's evidence or whatever the situation may be. But then my iPhone's gone. And so my iPhone being gone, I ended up with this. It's not a government phone. I'm not on a government phone, but it ain't much better. It's like a phone that you get at the supermarket for like $50 to hang on the little racks, you know what I mean, by customer service or something like that. You have to do it on the internet browser. Let's see. As long as you don't say, Marley, what? Why you keep talking about that? Heard it's kept. Tony said funds were sent. Sent to what? Damn these accounts. TCB, what up? TCB for life. Is that Texas Chicano Brotherhood? Is that what that means? I had a homie from that. What was that fool's name? He was in Buny whenever Bulldog. This fool named Bulldog. And that was his, I don't know if it's a hood or a prison gang, or I don't remember exactly what it was, but that fool was cool. He was fucking cool. That fool was a writer. Texas Chicano Brotherhood. Is that what that is? Is that what TCB means? That's all Doug talks about, his kids' names. I heard VPS took your bread. Well, I talked about that. You could run it back a couple minutes, and we'll see. We'll see. We gotta, like I said, I gotta get my phone back, and I gotta get my phone number back so I can see. I got to be able to get into my Cash App. And I used, what happened is my phone number that I've had for 10 years, over the time, I've used it as the two-step authentication on everything. That phone number has been my two-step authentication on everything. So if you didn't have my phone number, you couldn't, you know what I mean? You couldn't log into my stuff. That's how I made sure it kept all my stuff secure. So whenever I lost my phone, I can't get into my Cash App. I can't get into all kinds of shit, man. This shit is killing me. But yeah, Elvis logo, TCB, taking care of business. Spencer's Addiction. It's a fake. Yeah, it might be. That's what I'm saying. Not very, I don't know. Live here soon on my other channel. What's your other channel? What's the name of your other channel? Dub, if that is you. Homie didn't get paid. Gangish Crew facts. You know, Juan Gotti. This is me. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it's you or not. We're gonna find out. You know. But this phone's gonna die here pretty soon. I got about 8 minutes late. They trolling you. Yeah, if it's you, Dub, let's get together. We'll get together. We'll do a what you call. I got my computer over here. I need to get a power cord for my monitor, and I need to get like maybe a 50-foot Ethernet cable. I went to the Segunda yesterday. Trying to find Ethernet cables. I found one that's like maybe 25 feet. So maybe I need to get a splitter and then try to find another 25 footer. At the old house, I had a 100 footer. So I was able to run it all the way from downstairs, run it all the way down the stairs, and then run it into my, run it into my computer. But here it's the same thing. I'm living downstairs and the router is upstairs. And so I'm going to need to run one. I don't know if there's any holes. There might be some holes through the floor because a lot of the times they put holes through the floor and through the ceiling so they can just run stuff down into the internet. I haven't been able to check it out how exactly I'm going to have to do it. But I got to get an Ethernet cord and I need to get a power cord. Power cord ain't much. It's only like $7-8 for my for the power cord to my monitor. And luckily the homeboy saved all my stuff, but he didn't, not all the cords. He didn't have all the cords, but he had my computer at least. I got my computer back. So fight him like you did BCV Midwest. That's y'all still fighting on YouTube or what? Dub's weird. He's acting like Dub is even weirder, but acting like Dub is even weirder. So yeah, I got to get my computer. Oh yeah, and then I got to get a camera. I got to get a what you call too, a camera. I got a job. I already got a job. I got a job at this hotel, doing nights at this hotel, doing overnights. I'm supposed to anyway. The woman hasn't called me back today, but she seemed very eager to hire me. I'm pretty sure she also seemed like a very busy woman. So I have a feeling that she's just busy. But hopefully she gets back to me today, and I'm actually supposed to start tomorrow. So I'll go right into it with a job. As soon as I get a paycheck, get myself paid up a little bit, and I can start getting all my stuff to stream because they want me to stay here. I'm in like a sober living home, and the judge's orders. The judge is like, well, if you're serious about staying clean and she goes, you can stay in a sober living home, and I want you to be giving you A's and yeah, it is full time. The hours are overnight. The hours are like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., I think, or something like that. So like straight graveyards. Are you and your girlfriend still together? I'm not. I am single right now. I got a couple girls on the line, a couple girls that I'm talking to, but nothing's official right now. Still trying to work that out. You know what I mean? I'm going to get over there as soon as I get a paycheck too. I'm going to get over there with Mile High Hustle and start doing some sparring. I'm sure this fool's going to fucking tune me up, dog, because I've been out of practice for so long, and the homie's just going hard, and I know, fuck, it's going to be bad, bro. It's going to be bad. I'm going to get tuned up, but I'm going to get up to speed, though. I'm going to get up to speed, drop some of this weight, and you'll see some sparring videos from me and Mile High Hustle here pretty soon. You know what I mean? Since nobody want to fight him, now nobody want to fight him. He tuned up boxer. Now nobody wants to fight. I mean, come on, man. See, your hours. Let's see. Are you and your girlfriends? You always pull bags. Homie, I got a couple of them on the line right now. Man, the girl who saved my life, you wouldn't even believe it. I don't even believe it. I bring some of these girls around my homies, and they're like, God damn. You know what I mean? Boxer was easy work. The light work. Boxer was the light work. Maybe me and Boxer should fight. You know what I mean? Maybe I should get some practice in first before I go fucking with Mile High Hustle. Yeah. But no, I'm single right now. My ex is still she's still good people. You know what I mean? She's got Jack right now. She's taking care of Jack for me. And she was a rider, homie, the whole time I was incarcerated, you know what I mean? She was, she's good people, and I still love her to death. We'll always be friends. You know what I mean? But good for her. You know what I mean? I'm making my Pro-Am debut on July 18th. Shit, that's a month out. Did you and Dubs ever do time together? Dub, no. Dub's never been locked up in Colorado. I've only done time in Colorado, and then I did juvenile time in California. Better start training, homie. Borrow Midwest indoor bike. Oh, you got the indoor bike? Man, I need to get a bike. That's something else I need. That'll help me stay fit, too. This fucking city got so many hills. They got these scooters and shit. Like, we'd be riding the little Lime bikes and stuff like that. Lime scooters and shit like that. But, it ain't the same as a real bike. I need to pick me up a mountain bike. And that'll help too. Start getting my wind up. I got to get my wind right. And I got to get in that boxing gym. Start stretching. You got to stretch them. You know, that's all it is. You know, your lungs are like a rubber band, man. You got to stretch them motherfuckers out. And they'll expand all in your, all in your rib cage. They'll expand way bigger than that. If you've ever seen a human lung, whenever they pump it full of air, human lung can be huge. They can get like that, like balloons. They can blow up like balloons. They got a gang of stretch in them, you know what I mean? So you can fill all this cavity up with them lungs, you know what I mean? But you got to stretch them out, stretch them out, stretch them out. You know what I mean? Where in California have you been? I'm from Northern California. I'm from a city called Ukiah. I lived all over Northern California. I was born in Sacramento, but I'm from a city called Ukiah that is in Mendocino County. And I did time in juvenile hall. I never made it to YA. I left there whenever I was 13. I never made it to YA, but just juvenile hall. Back then, they just called it juvenile hall. I think it was technically, the facility was called West Hills, if I remember right. But it's mostly just, they just call it juvenile hall. I think there's confusion on how much he owes you, bro. There's more than that seller fee on the platform, Weavy. There's a 25% seller fee on the platform. Does smoking weed stretch my it does. Smoking weed does stretch your lungs, but it also kills the cilia, right? And the cilia, any smoke that you inhale kills the cilia inside of your lungs. Cilia are little hairs, and those little hairs are what filter out all the dust and all the particulates and shit like that you breathe in. All the shit that you breathe in, those are there to clean that stuff out. There's little hairs all over the inside of your lungs, right? They're hair-like structures, right? And they filter things. They filter the trash that we build in, but every time that we inhale that smoke, that hot smoke, it kills the cilia, right? It burns them up and it kills the cilia, right? So it kind of kills though it does stretch your lungs out, it kills the filters. It kills the internal filters. I have a cousin from North Highlands. You've been to Modesto? I have been to Modesto. I've been to Modesto, been to Richmond. We used to go to Oakland a lot. Vallejo. Been all over Northern California. Never spent much time in Sacramento. I was born there, lived there whenever I was very young. I don't really remember it. I was born on, I lived on some streets called Marconi and Watt. It's on the northern edge of Sacramento. And it's Sacramento, and then on the other side of the street is the suburb called Carmichael. That was the real Dub. He made it short, then deleted. I thought it was a fake one, too. Richmond, California is rough. Richmond, California is rough. So is Stockton. Old fucking Stockton. All them white boys in them goddamn trailers. Stockton's a motherfucker. Richmond's a motherfucker, too. My mom used to get mad because we would go over there. She didn't like that we would go over there. She didn't like me hanging out in Oakland either. We go over there and chill. Them fools are cool, you know what I mean? Go see the pimps and shit like that. There's a lot of fools pimping. You know what I mean? The Frisco. We used to go to Frisco. We tell her we were going to Frisco. Oh, we're going to the city. Da, 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 da. You shoot across the bridge over to Oakland. Fucking Richmond, you know? I remember whenever I was very young, my mom said, "You're the wrong color to be over there. You stop fucking going over there." She said, "You're going to get yourself stabbed up or something stupid." She said, "Stay the fuck out of that place." She used to get mad. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's see. Turn on the battery saver. There we go. Bam. Turn that bitch on. Turn it on. It ain't going to let me turn it on. Fuck it. Let's see. Where are Dub's new YouTube channel names? I've lost track of it. don't know. I don't know. Podcast. I like the name. Just podcast. Fuck it. Yeah, my Dukes knew. She said, "Boy, you the wrong color. What are you doing in Richmond?"